President Biden will be masking and socially distancing all day long. And now a D.C. area elementary school just brought back masks after 3 kids tested positive. Senator Rand Paul, what's the feeling like over there in Washington now?
It's a crime against children, and we should never put our kids back in the masks. Right now, I'm having a battle with the Senate physician who wants to do 3 vaccines for all of our pages. They're 18 years old, and we now know that, guess what? In America, not one healthy child died from COVID. I repeat that, not one. The number is 0, and yet we're forcing 3 vaccines, and we now know that the more vaccines you give to children, the higher the incidence of the heart inflammation. So it's actually malpractice to do this, and I'm fighting them because in the Senate, they're still trying to force every page that comes in here, young, healthy people, to be triple vaxxed, and it actually is against medical advice to be doing that.
So you have medical malpractice on the trans surgeries for kids and on these quadruple vaccinations for healthy teens. Why have the Democrats embraced this so fervently?
You know, because I think for them it's more about control. They are for things that centralize your decisions. They have always had utter disdain for the working class, utter disdain for the regular folks. If you don't have a PhD from an Ivy League school, they think you're not smart enough to make your own health care decisions, that the government needs to do this for you. And so they have a great deal of love and inspiration that comes from central authority and big government making these decisions. Now, they think it's all benign, but in the case of the transgender surgeries, a half a dozen European countries have now banned it in children because they have a long-term experience, and they've actually discovered after following these people for 10, 15, 20 years after the surgery that the incidence of suicide is 20 times greater in those who have had the surgery than the general public. There still is a huge suicide risk, and really that's because there are other issues we're dealing with here. There are psychiatric illnesses, comorbidities that need to be treated. Instead, we're just saying cut off part of your body and you'll be better, which I think is a terrible, terrible approach.
Well, the Democrats always want to imitate Europe, so tell them the Europeans banned it and maybe they'll follow along. Senator, thank you so much.